You're listening to STR, the Sandy Times Radio, culture, music, and beyond.
Can't tell why you're coveting that designer bag? Keep on listening. The Sandy Times is exploring the rich history of signature bags and how fashion houses successfully translated their legacy to fit our modern lifestyle. Cool, edgy, free-spirited. Hi everyone, this is the Eat Bag Fashion Podcast on STR. This season, we explore iconic accessories. Each episode will explore one of the hottest bags on the market. Today, we dive into the universe of Chloé. Turn the volume up. Chloé meets Sarah. In July 2022, the Lebanese fashion scene was celebrating a new milestone. Why is that? A local luxury handbag label, Sarah's Bag, had just announced a collaboration with the renowned French house Chloé. The partnership resulted in 2 limited edition crocheted handbags, Woody Nano Toad and Nano Edith. The Woody and Edith are popular bags in their own right. However, Chloé's creative team decided to reinvent these bags in a special way. So they partnered up with Sarah's Bag, a label that shares their values of women empowerment and sustainability, and the same sensibility to femininity and whimsy designs. Sarah's Bag is the life project of Sarah Beydoun, but Sarah's adulthood didn't start at design school. In fact, Sarah is a sociology graduate. She works closely with NGOs helping women in prison. In that harsh environment, she witnessed the detainees' talent. It was Beirut in the year 2000 and the social enterprise Sarah's Bag was born. While Sarah trained her creative eye, the enterprise turned into a business, and former detainees reintegrated society by becoming employees. These women became a team of 200 artisans crafting meticulously embroidered and beaded bags, to be seen on the arms of Gigi Hadid, Beyoncé, Amal Clooney, and Queen Rania of Jordan. Sarah's designs mix hints of pop culture, folkloric patterns, and Arab calligraphy with punk rock elements and graffiti. The aesthetics are rooted in Lebanese and Arab heritage, but with a twist. And it is the revisited crochet technique that caught the attention of Chloé's design team. Very popular in the Middle East, the crochet was chosen for its timelessness and richness. Also, crochet is deeply anchored in Lebanese tradition. In some villages, it is still common for female relatives to come together to crochet the trousseau of a bride. For those who don't know, a trousseau is a collection of personal possessions like clothes, linen, and household accessories that a woman takes with her when she gets married. So the crochet holds a very symbolic significance since it embodies a cross-generational link among women. Therefore, it is not a surprise that Sarah selected a team of 40 women from all age groups to exclusively work on the Chloé collaboration. The partnership was long overdue. The circumstances kept on delaying it. Initially, the venture was set to take place a couple of years earlier, but the project was pushed back due to a change in Chloé's creative directorship, so it had to be reviewed and validated by the new team. Meanwhile, Lebanon was battling with an unprecedented crisis. The country was dealing with a financial collapse. Like all Lebanese, Sarah's team was facing enormous challenges in running day-to-day operations. Despite all of these difficulties, the samples done by Sarah's Bag artisans were approved at the end of 2021, and production was underway. Sarah's team was now responsible for all production aspects, from crocheting the bags to inserting serial numbers, packaging, and shipping. Everything was done up to French fashion houses' standards. Another testament to Lebanese resilience and talent. Another sign of the importance that Chloé gives to the Arab world. The entire creation process took 6 months to be completed. The handbags were exclusively available on Chloé's website and in their Dubai Mall location. Priced at $690, the bags were sold out within a week. The beige and brown color palette, hinting to Mediterranean sunset, captures the boho chic vibe that screams Chloé. Gaby meets Paris. Now, you might be lost and wondering, who is Gaby? Where did Chloé and Sarah go? Bear with us for 5 minutes and keep on listening. You'll get the idea soon, we promise. Born in 1921 in Egypt, Gaby Aghion moved with her husband Raymond to Paris in 1945. They settled in Paris Rive Gauche. Historically, the left bank of the Seine River is known for being the capital's bohemian district. Intellectuals and artists from all backgrounds used to gather there at Les Dieux Magots, Café de Flore, and Brasserie Lippe. It is in that social setting that Gaby and Raymond became close friends with Pablo Picasso, for instance. A couple of years have passed before Gaby decided to embark on a life-changing project. One day in 1952, Gaby told her husband, "I have got to work." The seeds of her fashion brand were sown. One thing was certain, Gaby wasn't going to be influenced by existing business models. She will come up with her own blueprint for success. In Gaby's words,
"A lot of things didn't exist in France. Everything was yet to be invented, and it thrilled me."
With her desire to promote equality, she wanted fashion to be more accessible. Her plan consisted in using good quality fabrics to make feminine, non-restrictive clothes with minimal alteration. Gaby was among the few who embraced the major social changes of the second half of the last century. Haute couture was in decline, and so was elitist luxury. Many labels were ceasing operations like Balenciaga because they were stuck in their old habits. They didn't want to meet the needs of a younger clientele with a more dynamic lifestyle. Christian Dior, Balmain, and Givenchy saw the change, yet they bet on their rich clientele. They banked on ladies with open checkbooks and chauffeurs to drive them around. Ladies that have hours to spare in fitting rooms. Ladies who spent their nights attending galas. That is why these labels' editorials heavily showcased women in either the Eiffel Tower or Notre Dame in the backdrop. However, that didn't reflect reality. The average woman wouldn't go to the local dressmakers to copy designer looks, and they ended up with ugly and unflattering imitations. It was that demographic that Gaby catered for. She was going to make luxury clothes at reasonable prices for young, active Parisian women. Ready to wear was born, and Chloé was its spearhead. Gaby meets Chloé. Chloé is a name of Greek origin that means blooming, a name full of femininity, a name so fitting for Gaby's brand, but she didn't choose this name for its meaning. Actually, Gaby chose the name Chloé because it was her friend's name, a friend that she believed to be the incarnation of glamour. In 1956, Chloé organized its first showing, and you bet that Gaby wasn't going to play by the haute couture rules. All Parisian houses used to present their latest creations at carefully elaborated nighttime events. Gaby went for a different approach. She selected her favorite spot, Café de Flore, to stage a morning fashion show. Models walked next to waitresses while people were having breakfast. After Café de Flore, Chloé showed at Brasserie Lippe and Closerie des Lilas, places known for their hip elegance and free-spirited clientele. Gaby's collections featured breezy dresses, sexy camisoles, hand-painted silks, flouncing blouses, and shimmering gowns, and no rigid skirts and voluminous shapes in sight. Gaby's creations channeled the left-bank bohemianism. Chloé's identity was there to be seen. The brand grew into becoming synonymous with effortless French style. Chloé meets Karl. In the 1960s, Gaby became a mother, and her time was spent more at home than in the office. So she had to find a full-time creative director that would give their full attention to the brand. But where would she encounter such a person? Well, it turned out to be easier than expected. All Gaby had to do is to look around while she was having her morning coffee at her favorite spot. Yes, you guessed it right, her hunting ground was Café de Flore. Every morning, a young German sporting big boots, a tailored jacket, and black sunglasses would walk through the doors of Café de Flore. Having overheard Gaby's predicament, he approached her to submit his sketches. Among them, a yellow summer dress with matching yellow tights. Impressed with his bold design, Gaby saw immense talent. She hired him on the spot. Gaby had just recruited Karl Lagerfeld. The German icon would be the label's creative director for 20 years. Moral of the story: pick your regular coffee shop very wisely. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, the whimsical nature of Chloé was taken to the next level by Karl Lagerfeld. His creations elevated the bohemian style with soft, flowing silhouettes, delicate prints, and luxurious fabrics, which went on to form Chloé's modern identity. He created the most magnificent dresses and ready-to-wear looks. But he didn't design any noteworthy bags for Chloé since the house wasn't interested. Chloé's loss would be Chanel's gain. You can listen to episode 6 of Eat Bag to know more. And Chloé will remain without any iconic bags even at the turn of the new century due to the deep reservations of their new creative director. Chloé meets Stella. Stella McCartney had a clause added to her contract. She will never be forced to use leather, fur, or any other animal byproduct. Therefore, handbags hadn't been much of a feature of Chloé's collections during her directorship. And yes, that's the daughter of the Beatles legend Paul McCartney. That being said, her tenure started in 1997. And with it, a new era fueled by girlish charm and sass. One of the long-lasting effects of Stella's stint at Chloé was the introduction of horse motifs. More recently, these motifs were used to decorate the handbags designed by Natasha Ramsey for the Fall-Winter 2018 collection. Stella McCartney's time with Chloé was full of highs. Her spell wouldn't have been so successful if she didn't have a trusted right-hand assistant by her side. Brought in the year following her appointment, that dependable aide was none other than Stella's college friend, a certain Phoebe Philo. Chloé meets Phoebe. Chloé officially started making leather goods, including handbags, with Phoebe Philo in 2001. Since then, the brand has been delivering one Eat bag after another. Phoebe's bags became cult favorites and the unofficial off-duty uniforms of supermodels and actresses alike. Within the first year of her tenure as creative director, Phoebe started testing the ground by launching C by Chloé, a sister brand that offers options for a younger age group and a lower price point. But the handbags remained of high quality with a slight bohemian edge. Having seen that the public is receptive to her ideas, Phoebe started seeing bigger. She released her and Chloé's first Eat bag in the Spring-Summer 2002 collection, the bracelet. The inspiration for this handbag was a charm bracelet that Philo had picked up during a vacation in Ibiza. The handbag is a slouchy crescent-shaped hobo-style bag with a big bracelet at the top of the straps. It is a part jewelry and part bag. For some, turning the bag itself into a giant dangling charm was an ingenious design. But don't worry, if you're not fully on board with the idea, the bracelet is removable on the newer versions. The bracelet comes in 3 sizes: small, large, and oversized, with small being the original size. The medium and oversized versions were introduced in the last decade. The medium model doesn't feature the bracelet, but rather an adjustable strap. The oversized one features a banana handle. It is a nod to the critically acclaimed Spring-Summer 2001 collection. A smaller iteration of the bracelet, known as the Nile bag, was introduced during Spring-Summer 2017. Even though the bracelet was Chloé's first eat bag, it falls under the radar compared to the more popular Paddington bag. Chloé meets Paddington. Did you know that Chloé sold 8,000 Paddington bags before their official release? The price tag of $1,400, which amounts to $2,300 in today's money, didn't phase people out. And did you know that the Paddington was the first bag to have a waitlist for purchase? Yes, even before Hermès had theirs. Released in 2005, the Paddington is easily recognizable by its giant padlock as a closure. This bag was described by journalists as the perfect mix between nonchalance and elegance. It is believed that as a child, Phoebe had a padlock that she truly liked. So she took inspiration from it to create a bag. Seems like Phoebe brought her favorite mementos to Chloé's mood board. The Paddington was a universal success. Women loved to carry the bag on their shoulder despite its heavy weight. The goal was to be seen with the padlock under your arm and to be deemed fashionable by sporting the same look as Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. The Paddington sparked desires and had real clout. Even the legendary fashion journalist Andrea Leontelli sang its praises by saying, "This bag is a mastery of modern vintage." And speaking of vintage, the Paddington is no longer available on Chloé's website, but you can still buy it on second-hand markets. The starting price is $3,000. Chloé meets you. The most popular Chloé bags encapsulate the label's vision of effortless glamour and functional sophistication. But do they count as a good investment? Well, not if you want an immediate return. Current analysis says that the bags may retain a significant part of their financial value over time. Chloé's bags are significantly more affordable than the other luxury designs we've mentioned during this series like Hermès, Dior, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel. But Chloé's handbags are gaining momentum, cult, and acquiring partial vintage status. So those who can wait may reap greater rewards. Nowadays, there are some reasonable options for those who are willing to play the long game. While retail prices generally go between $650 and $3,000, some bags may be priced on pre-loved websites for as low as $200. We're going to share with you some good points, the bracelet and the Paddington aside, obviously. First, the Marcy. It was introduced in 2010 and has a lot of equestrian details. This model stands out for its curved, saddle-like front flap with top stitching details. Second, the Drew. It debuted in 2014 and is all over the hashtag Chloé girls. The everyday shoulder bag is known for its rounded shape and turn-lock closure. Third, the Faye. It was first introduced during spring-summer 2015. It became easily identifiable with its distinctive ring and chain closure. So, after all, a Chloé bag is an investment in terms of fashion and personal style. And it continues to amass a dedicated following worldwide because it is cool, edgy, and free-spirited.